insane business loans up to 2 million, 5 million and above, you can get your hands on without collateral, no hard credit checks, bad credit is acceptable, and lower documentation. Hi, my name is Michael with Viral Funding Solutions. I'm a business loan broker expert who's been able to help a lot of businesses get the right type of financing. Before I get into some of these services, I want to approach this from my perspective that you may not see too often. And what I, as a broker, the person who actually looks at the documents, I can pre-underwrite a file very well, know what that actual underwriter and underwriters are looking for, and what lender is best to go with. So I do a lot of the handling and I can make it very effortless for you, but I want you to understand what positioning that I am in. I always put myself in your shoes every single day. I know this, the psychology, the strength of your mindset, why you may be doing something, why you may not be. Why are you not committing, maybe making a micro commitment or nothing at all? What holds you back? And I actually wrote something down here to a few people that I help that are other brokers. I've been in this for some time, so they were just asking me for some guidance. And from the perspective of them helping you, I just wanted to say this. So I'll get to that in a second. But before I do, again, be that person who will be receptive, who is actually serious. And when I say serious, I don't just say fill something out and then disappear or await a call. I don't normally have to give you a call because I have processes, systems, and automation. So just imagine me, a person who has strong feelings, who I am thick-skinned now, thank you. And it's because of this industry, one, but then two, because I've also been working in other businesses. I'm an entrepreneur / business owner. See, I'm not just a business owner. I'm not customer service. You could just call in at any time and get an answer from. It doesn't work that way. I have to be protective of my energy and time, and I have to set up those barriers so you guys understand how to come into my ecosystem. Once you guys come to me, you guys will understand exactly why it is the way that I do things. And so put yourself in my shoes as I put myself in yours. I want to help your business grow and expand. I want to help you get out of that rut. You want to continue to build. You're just getting started as a startup. Maybe you're a non-startup for a lot of time in business. You're generating that revenue. Way to go. Keep rocking it. But that isn't the sole factor that I make this determination on. I can get a business owner who does 2 to 10 million a month, who does billions per year. And guess what? I may still turn that business owner down. Why? Because volatility. They may be toxic. They may be stubborn. They may have an ego. They may have all of these things and these flesh wounds that are pushing them to the edge, and you're bringing it onto me. And I don't need that. I'll go to the comments in just a moment. Thank you, Lachito. So be somebody who respects my energy and time, my vibe, I guess is the word people like to put. And with me, it's like a friend or family. We may not be blood related, but I don't have you across the table. You're literally over here. I put my arm around your own shoulder or shoulders, and I say, hey, come on in. I'll take care of you. And I like to get to know people on a personal and a human level. I'm not looking at you as a number. Now, how much I open up, I'm an introvert. So you can only imagine how difficult it is for me to trust somebody, let alone let them into my world. So if we build that rapport enough, great. If we don't, it's fine. The thing is, it's about how much you want to open up to. I'm not going to push somebody. But when I'm working with a lot of clients, put yourself in my shoes. Do I want to get somebody who just fills something out, half ASS, and then just Casper the unfriendly ghost disappears or becomes a Homer Simpson theme, literally, or the meme, where you go back into the bushes like this? I don't have to be chasing you down. That's not what I will do. We're not playing a game of tag or a game of chase or whatever you want to call it, hide and go seek. That's basically what you're doing. If you're that individual. If you're not, great. You don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to read this post really quickly, but this isn't coming from a point of where I'm like being negative or I'm being aggressive. This is just me giving you guys some tough love. And be receptive, be open-minded, be patient, and allow for feedback. Those main things. Allow for feedback, be patient, and most importantly, be open-minded. If you cannot allow yourself with me to do those 3 things, go away. Just disappear from whatever you are thinking about doing because I'm not right for you. You want to go to some robotic system, some answering machine who goes, here, we will input you an offer in the next 24 hours. Thank you for submitting your online portal. And you never get any kind of help. It doesn't always have to be this over the phone. Just think about it. I have processes. You fill out the questionnaire form on my site. Fill it out. If you have, I'll get back to you. I've been quite busy. I've been recovering from my dental implant. I really shouldn't be talking much, so I'm going to keep it limited. But I've been doing well. My recovery has gone very smooth. Check up on Wednesday just to make sure everything's fine. And so when you fill out that questionnaire, I will evaluate it, analyze it. Yours truly. I'm very analytical. And so I'll look at it all and I'll give you a proper response back on your best funding option and options, thoroughly broken down step by step on what you need to do. That's why it's personalized, highly and customized. So you're going to get that response back via email. And if you can't, don't tell me you cannot look at the email. Don't tell me you can't even read that email and you click the link or you just didn't ever look at it. Maybe you did an input error. Maybe you put the wrong email address, but you should know that. Why are you just manually or auto-populating an email? I get that for time and energy, but you're telling me now that I went to the wrong email that you actually decided to put a different one? Like, okay, that probably is justified. Some other people, they don't justify it correctly. You might not be telling me the whole truth sometimes. So I'm going to read this quick post that I put. Again, this is from the perspective of helping out another broker or other brokers and agents. And I'm telling them, don't put up with you. Like I'm saying, if you're that individual, you're that business owner who's very stubborn, egotistical, you're arrogant, you're cocky, you just have all of these things where look at me, I'm the business owner, I'm generating 3 to 5 million a month, I can buy whatever I want, I do what I want. Okay, that's you. Do you, man. Do you, lady. Do you. But at the end of the day, what matters to me are the morals, values, character. And it comes back to that point of view. Maybe you're at a point where you've been hurt or you just worked so hard. I've been there. I worked hard in my businesses because I was hurt too. I was going away from pain. I was going to go away from a problem that I was dealing with. There was a couple of things. And then I wanted to reach a different destination. And then that pain point then changed over time. So don't think that I don't know these kind of things because I've been there. So now let me read this and I'll go into some of these insane business loans you can get up to 2 million. So I wrote here, and keep in mind, guys, this is just from tough love. I'm an individual who's been in your shoes. I've worked a 9 to 5 a long time ago. And man, I was in a logistics/financial role. I actually worked with the boss at a point because he found the value that I was able to create for the company. And he brought me into like his boardroom meetings and I was in the office, just me and him, a lot of the times on the whiteboard. And he was telling me, how does this system work, look, Michael? How does this math on this turn out? Because I'm a systematical and mathematical minded person. And he would show me and I would go ahead and create and do the things that were supposed to be done the right way. And I would do a revision check on what some of the things he was doing. And I was putting my own systems in place too. And I said, this is what you want to do at this point of the process. And this is what you want to mitigate. This is what you want to trim. This is what you want to increase. And this will increase your production. And so what I'm saying is I'm a person who has those values, who's worked on themselves personally. I've safeguarded this, by the way. I'll come back, Nachito. Give me about a minute, please. I've safeguarded this. I've worked on myself. I'm an entrepreneur. I have other businesses. I've created products. I have things out there in the market. So as a business owner, I get it. If you haven't worked on yourself enough, it may be something you need to step into. And I've been there where I was struggling. The company that I was with a long time ago went down under. And I thought about going back to school to about finish another year. I did university and I did community. I went to school for chemical engineering and then transitioned into business classes. Not that it was that difficult. It was just, it wasn't intriguing as much as I thought it would be. I loved chemistry. I loved the sciences. I loved the maths. And so I tried to use that as a way to navigate myself even deeper into the business side. And then I grew from there. And I worked in a lot of different roles. I worked underneath manufacturing companies. I worked in construction. And I'm not saying I just worked manufacturing like they put me at the head position of accounting. I'm saying they worked me. I had it like at the very young, when I was in my younger 20s, I started like as a headerman. I started with the people on the field, the people who were working the machines, creating the product for an aerospace company. And I had to learn those things. And I learned very quickly that wasn't for me. And then there was another position that opened up. I worked in the blueprint room and I was able to understand the layout of dices and a lot of things. I did construction roles before that. I did warehousing. I've done things out there, not because I wasn't stable. It was just because I was trying to learn different things at a younger age. So I had a perception and I was in good relationship with the owner. And so knowing these things, keep that in mind as I go along with this. But I've been hurt. I've been in that position where I had to go back on food stamps and I didn't like that. It was very uncomfortable for me again. And it was just not a time very back then. And you live and you learn, right? Sometimes we got to go through these things. Sometimes there's a path laid out that I went through, and then sometimes you got to reshuffle it. And I was a Division I soccer athlete, by the way, or player, not athletically gifted. I just had this. And so, are you lacking quality of leads, traffic, and communication, and are getting nowhere. Hi guys, and then I said Michael here. I hope you are all well, and I said a minute, so just stick with me. I know. Very quickly, are you struggling to get enough traffic, people coming in from online and offline channels, leads, communicate well at every part of the process, and other conversions? Most agents slash brokers, when they get started, lack all three of these and more, in parentheses I put. But what happens when you have it all and it still goes wrong? And I mean, you get high quality leads. You get the people you know, even before they have made a micro commitment to you. So you've probably seen that from my content. Maybe you heard of somebody offline. Like, have you heard of this Michael guy online? He's not just a business loan guy. He's a business loan broker. See, it's the way you frame it. He actually knows what he's talking about. He delivers more than anybody I think in the market does. And I can actually look at that and verify it, that I do think that I am like at the top of what I can do in my niche and everything that I do as a business loan broker. And I've helped out a lot of businesses of different industries. I've literally funded them all. So stick with me right here. Listen, I'm speaking from my own experiences, or experience, I put an S in parentheses here. For where I stand, I don't necessarily lack that traffic, and that's not me being pompous, it's not me being cocky, it's me being like, hey, you guys have to hear it from me. And I say this in a very humble, respectful type of way. That's my character. I've never been a person to be pushy like that or perceive somebody to think that I'm a cocky person. You can ask people that I'm with, my closest family members, and so forth. So this is again from experience that I'm putting it. From where I stand, I don't necessarily lack that traffic, nor it's the quality of leads. I have a big concentrated and nurtured list of people, and you know, if you know, you're a part of my list and how I take care of you guys. I educate you guys, and that's why you want to be a part of it. If you guys haven't yet, first step is to fill out the questionnaire form on my site, and I'll get to you in a second. And communication, I nurture. So you guys are like family to me, so I wouldn't treat you guys anything different. Like some people out there overpromise and underdeliver. They're gonna bait and switch you. I know that. I spoke to another lender today that I'm teamed up with now, and I wanted to get everything from them. I wanted to understand their processes. Oh, you guys bet I go through this all. I don't do less than what I know you guys should deserve and what I deserve. My standards are up here, so whenever they speak to me, I'm sure when they get off that call, or if it's an email, they go, damn. Like this is not your everyday person to deal with. And so I'm not, because I've been in this long enough. I know this, and I've been able to frame my mind in ways and nurture it like you guys should as well. So nurture list and communication part, or how to go about the offer component. I've literally spent a lot, maybe more than I should, of energy and my time refining each and every part of these activities and processes, or process. Building my personal and business brand, etc., as you guys have seen. So what is the problem, right? I'm a problem solver. I like to solve deeper, harder problems as an entrepreneur, business owner. That's my job. And I'm always thinking about what questions you may have before you even ask them. And I'm always in your mind. I'm understanding as much as I can. Not like I can't be a mind reader, but to a point I understand it because I've been in your shoes. Now, every industry, every way you operate, what you're looking for funding for may be different. But the general senses and the way that it works, it's very standard across the board. You just have to get the right broker, consultant, and the right service, and understand what the implications are, if this and that. You got to hypothesize why you are getting what you get, basically. So what is the problem? Is it my communication and follow up with you? No, I don't think so. I do have that down. Is it that I didn't build the relationship right? No. And I truly say that I do take the time on this. How about the right perceived value in quotation I'm giving them, like with my value, my content, and so forth? No, in fact, in my heart, I believe I give immense value in the market. Have you ever thought that it may not be you as the broker agent, or me, as I say, it might not even be me. I'm at a point where I go, it's not even me. Like, what is the problem with these not going through? What's the problem with me not getting feedback? And so these are the things that I put in bulletin point. Take this to heart, and if it hurts you, good. It should hurt you. So, and I mean hurt you as in like, take a step back and think about this. The services, this is the reasoning. When you get to my point and you work with an expert, and I went through all these problems already in the past with you guys just sucking up energy and time to never do anything, or you say one thing, you do another. And this is part of what I wanted to say. I've been there and I learned. So so what it is, have you ever thought that it may not be you as in myself or another broker agent, but it's this, the service or the services. So the services that you are getting conjuncted with Are those the problem? It may be, it may not be. You might be thinking that it's an interest rate or it's not about the interest all the time. It's about the benefit exceeding your repayment. You can't come to me and tell me I don't want an APR of 60 to 70% when you're going to take that money and you're going to be even in a deeper hole. You're going to pay off some credit cards. You're probably taking on a personal loan to debt consolidate some credit cards that you use only on your personal side or personal side that you use for your business. But then Mr. or Mrs., what will this money do for you in about 2 to 3 years' time? How are you using this money? Are you using it for doubling, tripling, quadrupling your money? Is it just COVID relief? And then what? You're going to be back out with these expenses? So you got to trim. You're not trimming the expenses. You're only covering them up and masking them up with more symptoms. If you're chewing more than you can, please do yourself a favor. And I can look these things over and I can understand what expenses you have, what we should trim and what we should focus on right now. Then down the road, when you generate more revenue, you generate your profits, you can separate all of these things. You understand what to do. Not, I'm going to become a business owner, and then I'm going to go look for this Michael guy who can help me out when you can't even help yourself. So here, the service or the services, another bulletin point, the client blocks themselves. I can lead into so many different variables on what it means to block yourself, but that's a big part. You block yourself up here. And you block yourself because of the service. You block yourself because you might think I'm just somebody else. If you haven't heard my story, bio, link, click, description, YouTube. If so, you're watching later, click on my story. That'll be like the viral funding story or something similar. Learn about me. And so when that happens, it's because you think you're speaking to somebody like anybody else. I'm not that person. That's why I don't just give everybody my time, especially on a call, and I'll get to that in a second. And the offer is not enough. Not good enough. Okay, I get that. Logically speaking, the deal, the amount you're getting has to make sense, but you got to start somewhere. I wanted 800,000, but I can only get affordable of 140,000 or 150,000. Okay, Mr. or Mrs. Business Owner, I know you're looking for a rehab cost of this, or you're looking at this to do this. Can you start off at 150? Probably use that to purchase that equipment. Maybe a lump sum for this. Maybe if we got you a line of credit, would this be best? Oh no. Well, well. You have to prioritize your needs of funding, and once you realize what you can actually get, that's when your eyes start to open up, your ears start to open up like you never would have thought of. You become a bunny, with big ears. You become me. I have big ears, and I'm not ashamed to say that. And so the offer, it's not good enough. That might be a deal. That might be a deal breaker. You go and you look at it, and I present it to you, and I go, hey, you have a funding of about $550,000 here. And I can go over some of the rates and terms if I need to, the payback period, etc., the early payment discounts. And a lot of the times it's because you're blocking yourself. You don't really understand when you go somewhere else what you're doing. And people take on a funding that doesn't make sense to them. And they thought it would have made sense back then. And believe me, if you're not in position to consult with me. So the client the client is disorganized and hard to deal with. Big one. Big one. And you're going to see a common trend as I'm saying this. The client is disorganized and hard to deal with. You may be that person, like I said, arrogance and all this stuff, and like you're not organized at all. Like I gotta wait. You said you were gonna send something in, but it's been over 2 weeks. I didn't even get you to put a time on it. I was being open with you. I didn't have to do that. I could have asked you, can you get this application sent back to me within the next 24 hours, within the next 1 to 2 days, or do you need more time? Yeah, I can do it in about 1 day. Guys, give me that. You start something, you have ASS it. You find out that you didn't have that document, or you found out that this wasn't what I wanted to do, but it's probably not best for you to go do something else, and you do something, you don't return, you don't even answer something so simple. That's being rude. That's being unaccountable. That's being unresponsible. So I hope you learn a lesson from that. And don't do it to anybody, let alone me. They wouldn't want to put up with that. They don't deserve that treatment. And don't just say because I didn't respond something, that should mean that doesn't mean I don't want. That means I don't want it. Like, I can't be a mind reader. That can mean anything. It can mean that. It can mean more. But it's rude. And so the client doesn't listen well. So you got to listen. You guys got to listen more than you talk. I have people who if I get on a call with somebody, even I can tell over an email or stuff like that. Like I have people who just talk and talk and talk. And you may listen as much as you talk, and that's fine. But I'm a listener. Like there's brief pauses if you get me on a call where I'm soaking up everything you're saying to me. And I'm not just soaking it up. I'm actually like listening to the way you say it. And I'm seeing if this person is actually very serious or not. And I can classify and know that's not somebody I should even waste another word on. Or I should be like, I can help, but let's just cut the time short and let's revisit this and look at it this way. I'll send you an email. It's all you need to do on this part, blah, 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 blah. So it depends on each person and if I even give that call. So the client doesn't truly understand their own finances, and I put truly in like caps locks here, not like the beverage truly, guys. Come on, we're not off the clock. And so the client truly doesn't understand their own finance. If I asked you, do you know that, or are you just like doing everything? You wear all hats in your business, and I get that. At the point you got to, I was there. I've been there, done that. I know what it is like. Trust me. Don't think that any of this is I take for granted. I've been there, done that. Who else to learn from and get funding from than from somebody who's been there, who's worked in different industries and understands exactly how to get somebody funded for what they're looking to get funding for. And it's not built the same for everyone. Just because do you want to really get somebody, and I know these systems out there, and I'm going to get to this point. Actually, I'm going to save it. So the client sucks up, and what I mean by finance is like, understand, like if you need a CPA, if you have less than 5 employees, a lot of the time you don't even have an accountant. You don't have your own CPA. You don't have attorneys. You don't have lawyers. You don't have all this. So you may or may not. So just get that done. Get it set up. Meet with them every single week. Get these things taken care of. And understand what you're generating, what can you afford, what are your actual projects, and look at the history of that, or where you're going into. Because if you don't have history and you're looking for funding, it's going to be much harder to predict on what would happen. There's no projection value unless you're just shooting out of thin air, or we just found another business and you're like, if this did this and this did that. But is there concrete evidence that this could happen too, is the thing. And most business owners have problems with that. They can't even supply the stuff in time, and people lie, and I don't need to hear this. Don't talk, do. And so the client sucks up all your energy and time to really never do anything. Or you do something, but it's just like it wasn't time and energy well spent. Like, I may not say that. I just know it. Like when I know it, I know. And I go, that person wasn't punctual or disciplined. Like they're not like me. They're not gonna, like I want to leave my day knowing that I have time to spend personally, where I'm not like exhausted up here, and I can't give that to a spouse. I can't give that to whoever it is. Like I want to be able to get out of this as well and make sure that I have energy and time reserved. Not that I got to go take a nap because you guys have exhausted me in ways that you guys couldn't even imagine. The client literally will lie to you and themselves. It's rude and it's absurd. It's unaccountable. It's irresponsible. So don't do that. Don't tell me something just because it sounds good. You're lying to yourself up here. Even worse if you vocalize it. Don't do that. That just tricks your brain. You don't want to trick your brain. But if you have to change an appointment, if you have to, change when you execute, then do it because something else came up. Don't twist my words and say that I'm saying something else. So the client couldn't read a simple email, so you can only imagine what they'll do throughout the process. Is that you? Can you not read a simple email? Like, if you can't read one thing, that's fine. If there's something else in another way that needs to be transmitted in communication for several reasons, I understand that. But at the same time, have somebody else help as well. That can also be in your best interest. But if I send you an email, and if it's in-depth or not in-depth, will you take the time? Can you take the necessary action? What's the next step? Like, okay, our next step should have already been, where's my documentation? And now you're coming back to me with something else. You want me on a call? No, you don't deserve that. Send it to me in an email. Rather, send it to me in a text or in a messenger chat. That's what I need. I don't need you to do all this every single day, and then what it does is nothing. You guys understand that? I'm a very kind person. I'm not an aggressive person. So I don't want to become somebody that I'm not. It's okay to be uncomfortable because that's how you grow you don't grow in your comfort. I've learned that. But becoming uncomfortable to become somebody that you're not, don't push me to that because I won't be that person. And if you guys think I'm like everybody else trying to get you guys funding, you guys have it all wrong. Again, learn about my story. I talked a little bit about it earlier in case you're just joining me. So there's much more. These are just some of the bulletin points. I'll go to the end here and I'll go to the comments. And if you stuck with me to this time and not just gone away, some of you are on lunch, coming back, etc. Good. This is what you guys should be doing. And not just, I stuck here for 10 minutes. I had a question asked. I didn't even get to it. No, Sally. No, Karen. No, John. Listen. And so what is the revealing theme above? And above meaning what are the bulletin points that I just mentioned? Yes, it can just very well be all the variables on the client's side you did not account for. Did you ever ask yourself that at the core, the nucleus, the atom, the neutrons, the electrons, the protons, whatever that entails on that orbital, the person you are working with, quote unquote, lacks the right character and traits, and that's what is getting in the way. So what I'm saying is, it isn't me. Another person is probably at that point, like they haven't done what they needed to. But for me, once you see it from my perspective and where I've been, It's not me anymore. It's not my follow-ups. It's not my communication. So what is it? That's right. If it's you, it's you. If it isn't, great. So while we're here to help businesses and business owners, don't burn and tire yourself out over a client when it makes no sense to. They're not going to be reciprocating what you're giving them. They won't even give you anything. They're just going to want to suck up your energy and time just seeking information way before you even communicated with them. You have to understand the temperature of that person and go into it and say, does this person respect me? Will they respect that phone call if I ever gave them one? It's not always like I'm going to give it to them. I have a lot of people actually who go through the application without even getting on a call with me, and they have communication with me in other ways. You don't have to get on a call with me. That's why I have my questionnaire form, and you can submit that processes. And so they think differently and will want to take up as much as of your, and I put your in caps locks, time and energy. And it's because traditionally that's how it is from your point of view. And it was from mine for some time. When I was calling in for the bank, when I was calling in for some customer service report or or report to hear back from, because that's what happens sometimes, or they send it to me via email, etc. You guys are like this. I need to get on the call and hear it. And I get that from that point of view traditionally, but we're not doing things traditionally. Yeah, I can go to a bank and help you with and negotiate things with my team, but it's not always like you need to call in. If I have a form for you to fill out, why do I have that form? And I say, fill it out first. Because I need to see something concrete. If I were just here picking up calls, or if I had somebody else pick calls up and those never went anywhere, what's the point of getting somebody else to pick up those calls and set up those appointments if it's not going to be justified? And so take up much of your energy and time, because that's traditionally how you see it from your point of view. And I've been there. Everybody wants, I put in parentheses, everybody wants, and everyone wants a consult with me over the phone, but not everybody will get one. I can transition it over to Messenger to begin with, and that's maybe all we'll need. You probably haven't put barriers up, and they come from the mindset that you're just a customer service rep attending to every call and every need without filtering them through your own process or processes first. You have to understand the psychology of that business owner / entrepreneur if you're an entrepreneur. And I would attest to this. Like, entrepreneurs, they normally have their together. Like, they worked on themselves. And so there wouldn't be a problem necessarily there. It might be more something on a logical level a lot of the time, not always. And know that if you do not set the right perception, in parentheses, of who you are, as in like the broker is or the agent, who I am, if I don't set the right expectation on who I am, what it is I do, why me? Why do I do it? Why me though? Why should you come to me? And more. They'll just look at you as just another agent, broker, and usually you'll spin your wheels doing this and feeling exhausted and never getting anywhere with these people. I've been, in parentheses, I've been there, done that in the past, and my goodness, comma, no thanks, bye, period. You learn this by being in the field, not that person who's trying to sell you something who's not in the field. You call somebody and they don't even know, they got to transition it to somebody else, and that person may not know enough. I'm in the field and I know what's happening. You might not always have direct communication with the lender, underwriter. Got to communicate with me, and I'll give you everything you need because I know what they want. Lastly, here it is actually. So make sure you set the right expectation or expectations and put up barriers on what you and what you're willing to do and not do. Otherwise, you will burn out at this and please everybody and help no one in the end. Believe me, ... It's not worth sacrificing your own health at that point. And for me, it isn't. I'm not doing this for the money. Like, yeah, if I earn 6-7 figures, okay. But I look back on that and I go, what did I have to do to earn that? Was it worth it? I'm not saying the money. I'm saying was what I had to do. Did I have to make sacrifices? Yes, I did. What did I have to do? Is that worth my energy, my health? No. I'll look at a lot of those and say, no, that wasn't worth it. So I can abandon. I've abandoned projects in the past where I've been there and I said like 6-figure income and stuff where I go, it's not worth my health. I'm sacrificing this. I have to sacrifice this with the client. It's not even personal time yet. We're talking about you guys doing a lot of implications, and you guys are happy with the guy who or a girl who calls you and cold calls you. I wouldn't want that. There's people, and I'm going to get to that point right now in just a second, so stick with me. So, let me see. Yeah. Lastly, I understand how the different systems out there work in this space, and how you might not be able to generate your own leads organically and not organically, and the point of view from a broker agent, not you guys, or maybe you're not being able to, and I can help with that. So you turn these leads, turn to these lead buying systems or digital agencies. Lead generation specialists is what they call them, and I've done this before in the past, but I haven't given this to other brokers rates. I'm not doing that right now at all. So who have what you want, and once you have it, tell you to call that person. So what I mean is there are these lead generation specialists out there who only focus on getting people like yourself to fill out a form. And guess what that does? They may not be the person communicating with you. Then they're selling that information to people like myself, but I don't buy into those systems normally. I don't at all, period. And they say, okay, here's the number of the customer, here's the client number, here's their industry, they're looking for this amount, how fast do they need it, how much time they have in business. Cool. Trigger leads or syndication leads, I try not to participate in that. That's not ethical. This is a different lead generation type of system that is, I'm not saying it's unethical, it's different, but that's what they're doing is they're calling you guys. And you guys, that's just yucky to me. It's yucky in so many ways because I'm not going to be there doing this, calling people, cold calling people. And you wouldn't want that anyways. Why would I want to give you, I can give you perceived value over this and tell you, hey, I'll send you an email so you can learn more about me. And I get that and what our services are, but I don't want to be doing that. You don't want to get somebody cold calling you and so forth. So, but think about it for yourself. Do you want to be cold calling these businesses, or would you rather set the idea or plant the thought of who you are, what you do, and why you before you've ever been on the call with them, if need be? So I'm saying like, yeah, do this, send you an email, learn more about me. Here's my brand and personal image. You can learn more. I get that part, but for me and a lot of people, we wouldn't want to spend our time doing that, even if it's a for sure thing. Even it's just a lot, guys. You guys got to understand and be careful about just picking up calls from people like that can be pushy, that have that tone, and you just have to be careful. What I mean by that is to plan your attack where by the time somebody fills out your form or learns about your card, then that maybe leads into your story, what you do and why you do it best than others. They are the one hunting you. You are not the one hunting them. Back to my work, Michael, I put there. Okay, so I'll go to the comments. I know some of you are not in here anymore, but let me see. Lachito, have you filled out my questionnaire, by the way? Okay. So it's not a social media site. So what you would do is go over to my main website at Viral Funding Solutions, viralfundingsolutions.com, guys. Or you can also email me if it's easier. It's my first name, M-I-C-H-A as in Adam, E as in Edwin, L, at viral, something goes viral, funding, solutions with an S at the end, .com. Email me, let me know, hey, I viewed you on TikTok or however, and then we can go from there. And I can send you the questionnaire. But on the bio or the description down below, fill out the questionnaire, and that will be the best form of contact. Your break is almost done. What are you having for lunch if you're still here? Or did you have any? I'm not going to say I'm going to set up a personal call to begin with. I got to see what you also bring to the table. I got to see what others bring to the table. I don't just get somebody a call just to give somebody a call. Like I said, again, I'm not like that person, but again, a lot of people want my time. And whether it's truthful or not, like it doesn't matter. Like the thing is, I cannot just be doing that in this industry. If I were to be doing that every day, I wouldn't be in this at all. That's why my other systems and the ways that I do things work, because I've tested them and I've proven them. And so what I recommend yourself and everybody else in here watching and will watch, bio questionnaire, fill it out, evaluate, analyze, proper response back via email on your best funding option and options. Then you can start the process from there on that email. Have any questions, reply back to a text message. If it's a quick phone call for clarity purposes, fine. Hey, Michael, I read the questionnaire. I looked at it. I know the first option is what I'm going to lean in with. Great. But I had this question if it wasn't answered already. Good. What is it? Or sometimes it's already answered. You don't got to do that. Or, oh, I just needed more clarity on this. Great. Took less than a minute. So can I expect an application with you then after this call or within the next 24, 1 to 2 days? Boom, done. Yeah, I'll have it set up. Done. Boom, done. Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Sally. Thank you for taking that off my plate. Thank you for understanding that this didn't have to take 20, 30 minutes. There's a different way of me communicating with you. But because you were arrogant, you were stubborn, you just said, well, if I didn't get it the way that I wanted, then this person isn't taking care of me. You're not even taking care of yourself. If you can't even like take care of yourself, how can somebody else do it for you? So it goes into that whole, if you can't even do things for yourself, how can somebody else do it and want to do it for you? Can they even do it better is the question. So if you haven't worked on yourself, you wouldn't understand these things. If you're just a business owner, you're just starting a business and you're like neglecting the whole, I have to work on who I am, go read a book. Go and learn personal development. Go do these motivation things if you need to. Go to these masterminds, but work on yourself. Exercise, walk, jog, whatever it is that you need to get this. I couldn't even jog this morning. I couldn't even do my exercise and my cardio when I woke up like I usually do it on Tuesday mornings because I'm healing from a dental implant. I don't want to cause too much concern. And so I'm feeling very, I guess you could say the word lackadaisical because this hasn't been stimulated strongly enough. It has a bit. I did a few jumping jacks, but it's like you got to get something going. And if you don't have a routine and if you don't have the habits, it's going to show when you guys communicate with me. With your employees, your reputation, your character are two different things. What you come to me with is character and reputation, and I can see through the thick of things. And that's not something I want to work with. I go, I'm not going to work with you. You can go to somebody else. But I'm going to say, hey, leave that out the door, but just don't bring your problems to me in a way that it's going to affect me. Bring problems that I can solve, not problems that are unrelated and are going to hurt and impact me. And you're going to take me out and you're going to do things that are not healthy at all. So that's why I say to that. Yeah, if you need a professional, I got you. I'll take care of you. And when it's me focusing on these things too, I already have external teams too. So I have to focus on certain aspects. I can do what they've done, but I have to focus on one primary thing right now. But I have the best in each space, like credit repair, certain credit programs that I've associated with before in the past that I have, as well as that I've helped people attain, and so much more on the business credit, digital marketing. I have a digital marketing agency. I have affiliate marketing businesses and more. So whatever you guys need, I will be able to support you guys with. Does anybody have questions before I get going? Now, while you guys do, the new business loans up to $2 million. I know we got into another realm, but these new business loans, don't think about it as like there's a new business loan now, there's a new product I can go apply to. That's not how these work. So everything out there is already there. It's just an iteration of it for the majority of the time. Sometimes it is a completely new product, but it's just kind of iterations of each and every one, whether it's real estate or it's a business capital for an actual business using it for growth and expansion. Real estate, you can be a business owner in real estate. It just depends on how you look at things. And so in the process on what kind of property, et cetera, et cetera. But there is no such thing as that right now. I made a video on that. It's already on the YouTube channel. You guys can view it and learn about that one. But to get a new business loan, and I also spoke about this on this perspective, that if it isn't launched, I will, like adding more than what you can chew, or if you're ready to get a new business loan on top of what you already have, I spoke about. But a new business loan program or a new service, there is one where you can earn 2% on all fundings, where you were to get funding yourself, and then you can refer someone else in your network or outside. However you see it, you don't have to participate, but you earn 2% on all their fundings that they get. And then you can use that amount to pay off the remaining balance, and you can make your funding a lot cheaper. You can save a lot on top of the early payment discounts that we would get you, that were very competitive and usually we beat people on. And all parts of the equation usually I beat people on. But with that said and done, you get that, or 1% on employee retention credit. If you get employee retention credit, you can then refer someone else and you get a percentage of that. So why wouldn't you want to take advantage of it when you get a referral link, a code? Hey, business owner. Hey, Jerry. I spoke to a business loan broker. His name is Michael. And before I say anything, he really does take care of you. Like, I mean it sincerely. Like, you probably have tried to have people get you funding and try to help you with the process on this. But this guy really understands things to a depth that somebody else wouldn't. Like, you'll get to understand the underwriting. You'll get to understand the services. You'll get to understand yourself better. Like, if you're afraid of that, then I don't know what you're willing to do. But if you want to work with somebody who is an expert in this space, who has the connections, who also has the Rolodex and the team, like I couldn't say any more. Even if you haven't received funding, you go, okay, I know somebody that can do that. And you spread the word. I've teamed up with guys. Sorry, there's a squirrel right here that just went across the top of the fence. Caught my eye. And, I should have shown you. I'll tell you guys a little bit about this later. But yeah, if you guys have somebody and you go, well, I work with like accountants, I work with the bookkeepers, I work with the real estate investors, I work with bank managers, I work with business owners who refer other people to me, and I do everything in my power to position that person whether they can or can't get funding. You're in the best and safest of hands. There's even products out there where if you have stronger credit, and we can get you an unsecured term loan product up to about 300,000, if not 250. 250,000, and if it is better on the credit side, we can push 300, if not more sometimes. So just understand that it's a predicament though on credit, and it can be like a longer time. It can be past 2 years. It can probably be 3 to 7, 5 to 7 years, but it's harder to get. And the difference there is even if it's just based on credit, it might not be the full amount you're wanting to get, and you can get it somewhere else. So I'll just leave it at that. I'll go to the comments. I think I've overextended, but I feel good. This isn't affecting me. I just want to keep it in place as much as I can. Right? Yeah, that squirrel just passed across the fence here. There's been a couple. In the morning, I'll see a cat just go in there. Good thing I haven't seen a possum yet. I know I've seen possums doing it, but on the other side of the backyard here, I have a window, and I usually get like a bird chirping. I get a squirrel. I see rabbits right outside. I don't know who just left their... they're not wild rabbits. And so I think somebody just lost them, or they come back to their home. But I'll be walking down the street and I'll see a brown or black or white bunny. And I go, oh. And so, yeah. No, I'm in Washington. How about yourself? So what you guys got from this too is don't be a tire kicker. Don't be giving it lazy, minimal effort. Like, I'm gonna make it effortless, but you still got to put your part in that equation. Don't do that whole I'm gonna play this game or I'm gonna call him every second. I told a person yesterday, and they haven't even done what I asked them to. They said they were gonna get something back to me, and I saw them start, but they never finished it. Like, don't start something that you can't finish. Now, if you started something and you just had to go away from it, and I get that, it happens. But what now? Am I gonna have to now? I don't want to be chasing. I don't want to have to be saying, "Hey, you started. Are you still interested? Do I have to replay that again?" No, I don't want to do that. See, now you're putting me in an uncomfortable position where I don't have to be doing those things and have me become somebody that I'm not. So don't do that. Don't play that game. Don't play that tag game. Not chasing people. And so when people, like, for instance, they said, and what part? I was born in Orange County, in Fountain Valley specifically. I lived in Orange County, and I grew up living in Garden Grove, California. I've been all around Huntington Beach. Not like living, but I've been on the orange side of the equation. But yeah, been around there, SoCal. And I know about North Cal too. I've been up there. And so what happens is you get people who are just kicking rocks. And I wasn't saying that this person the other day was that, because that's not who they are. I mean, I gotta still understand more. But I was like, submit this first. Once I get this submitted, then I'm gonna communicate with you. They thought, okay, I'll call you back tomorrow morning. And what time are you? I said, that's fine and all, but I wouldn't want to do that. And here's why. Let me do this first. Once you get this done, I'll follow up with you via the text or via the email first. I don't have to call you about that. Why do we got to do all that? And then to later find out this never even happened. This, like, where did this all go? Why did I just spend the time giving them that, even if it was only a minute? Like, you got to understand that I have things to do as well. And if you're sucking up my energy and time in a process that I wouldn't want to give you. You got to conform to my processes sometimes. That's how it works. And no, once you submit everything, I'll get it on my back office. I'll go to review. But before I start reviewing, I'm going to notify you via email or text. Hey, thank you for submitting the application or the documents. Once this is done, usually you hear back between 1 to 2 days, if not more, within an offer. We can get you multiple. If it's a direct lender, usually it's one. If it's indirect, because I already have those direct lender partnerships, we can do multiple. We can pull for multiple. And it isn't like we're pulling your credit. We're not hurting that. We're entertaining. I'm going to work myself with my team and entertaining and saying, well, this one could have worked, but this is actually the best lender for you. And I work with the best to get you what you need in your niche. So keep that in mind, that I'm not always conforming to what you want. You have to conform to what I want. And understand that when you come to me, this is a professional. This is an actual expert. I'm not an amateur. I'm not like ground level. If you go to an amateur, they'll conform to you what you want. all the time. Now, there's points to where I will, but they're going to conform to whatever you want because they're trying to get business. They're just trying to get their foot in the door and get working. But when you come to me, I'm going to rock the world, and I'm going to go and work for you. I'm going to do it. And you're going to be so satisfied when you're done with this. You're going to have like your hair just like, man, you were just zapped, and you have this new electricity. You're like an electric eel running through your body, or you're just magnetized now, and you're just like, now I got to go and put this money to work. And it's like, what'd you do? Just, are you jacked up on No, I'm jacked up on electricity because this person, he didn't have to present it that way. He didn't have to give me that aggression because he's not like that. He said it in such a subtle way, and it made me believe, and it made me get the help that I needed. And so that's where I want to leave it. Let me go into the comments. Appreciate you. Yeah, and I thank you as well for being here and for commenting. So I will get going. I know you said you'll be back. Do you mean I'll be back as in another time? Maybe you'll be here, or you'll be sending the questionnaire in. That's probably how I can see it as well. But I have to get going, guys. I haven't even had breakfast. I got to go have that and take my amoxicillin pill after I eat. And thereafter, just go to the content description. This was a reality check for you guys. This was just me being tough love. That's it. Nothing more. Take it the wrong way. Take it the wrong way. And if you didn't, good. And it's also maybe because you already know about me more and my story. And that's why I'm going to leave more about that down below. And I've been in this position before many times. And I don't want to be, I'm not traditional in the sense where I'm picking up calls just to pick them up. I want you to get that understanding that, hey, this is who I am, what I do, why is it me, and etc. And by the time you do all that, oh, it's going to be much better, much smoother for you. Guaranteed. Usually that. So appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. For those of you who did share, I don't say that enough. Thank you. If you didn't, that's fine. Like the video too. Appreciate you. I've been seeing that. Share it with others so you find will get value from it. It can be a complete stranger, friend, or family member. But rest assured, they'll get the help they need, whether they are a startup or not a startup, real estate investor, not real estate investor. Maybe you have a friend who you can refer them to me, and I'll take care of them. Maybe I can give you a percentage of that. If that's what you want to work out, I can help you with that too. And just know that there's a way of doing this where if you bring me business, I can help you with business. And that money, like even if it's small, like you take that money off of my funded value I give you, and maybe it is 1 to 3,000, but that 1 to 3,000 or whatever it is on that deal that's done, you're going to use that for your own business. You can become a broker and agent yourself, but you probably wouldn't want to do that. You have other things going on. So you can work as bringing me people, and I'll do all the hard work. And then once that happens, I give you a percentage, and I'm usually reasonable. Boom, you needed your first $1,000 to $3,000. Hey, I know a business owner. She was looking for $50,000. She can actually get $50,000. You know, if I get $50,000 there, and Michael earns, I don't know, like $6,000, $7,000, I don't know, whatever it is, and even if I only earn 10 to 20% of that, or 15 to 22% of that amount funded value he gets, oh, maybe, you know, I can do with an extra 500 to 1,500 or 2,000 or whatever that, if more, whatever the deal size is. That would be enough to get me in through the marketing door. That would be enough to put something down for something that I needed. That would be enough for insurance, for bills. Why didn't I think of that? So if you have a network of people, go in that direction. Get in touch with me. Have them fill out my questionnaire. I can get in touch with your email. I'll send you the links. Send them the links. Fill that out. Boom. Tell them my process. I'll show them my process. You don't really have to tell them that. You can if you want. And then boom, I'll take care of you and them. So that is all for now. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Talk to you all soon. Bye.